of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And in this review, we are going to be looking at chapter 9 of part 4, which says making people glad to do what you want, right? How can you make somebody happy to do what you want he or she to do? Let's start with the story. Back in 1915, America was aghast because there was a bloody war going on in the nations of Europe. It was really bloody, it was deadly. And the then president, Woodrow Wilson, was looking for a way to put an end to this war. He wanted to make peace at all costs, but he couldn't go. He needed to send a representative. Now, the then Secretary of State, William Jennings Bryan, really saw it as an opportunity for him to go as a peace emissary to the nations of Europe to mediate and to possibly bring the war to an end, because the president was so determined that he would find a way to bring this war to an end. It was so bloody. So Brian was really looking forward to being sent because he saw it as a chance to perform a great service and make his name immortal, like unforgettable in history. But then the president, Woodrow Wilson, had another plan. He thought that instead of sending Brian, he would send his intimate friend and advisor, Colonel Edward M. House. Right. So it was now the duty of Mr. Cornell House to break this news to Mr. Bryan that, hey, you are not the one that the president is sending to Europe. I am going instead. But how was he going to do it without making Mr. Bryan feel so disappointed and rejected, and without also making Mr. Bryan to start feeling any form of resentment towards him? So he simply went to, Mr. Bryan and said, you know, he told Brian that, you see, you are too important for this job. This job is not for people like you. It is beneath you, right? And it's not even going to sound well. If the president should send you, it's going to attract a great deal of attention, and people will be wondering why you are the one that was sent, because this is beneath you. You are too important for this. So that way, Mr. Bryan actually received the bad news without feeling disappointed that much. At least he had the satisfaction that, okay, I'm being rejected because I am too important for this, not because I'm not fit for the job, I'm not competent, or because there's a better replacement. So you see, if you really want people to do what you want them to do, apply this principle that Mr. Cornell House learned. He learned that you should always make the other person happy about doing the thing that you suggest, right? If you don't apply this principle, people will reject your suggestion, not because it is not a good suggestion, but because they don't feel good about it. They may feel like, oh, you're lording it over them, you're commanding them, your tone is not right, you're domineering, because we all have ego, no matter how small, in our own little ways, right? So make the other person feel happy to carry out whatever you want them to do. Woodrow Wilson also applied this principle when he invited Mr. William Gibbs McAdoo to become a member of his cabinet. He extended the hand of invitation to Mr. McAdoo and made it feel like Mr. McAdoo was doing him a favor by accepting his invitation. Something that was even a rare occurrence in the first place, that, oh, the president wants you to be a member of his cabinet. You should find yourself very, very fortunate to be receiving such a huge invitation from the president. But hey, the president made Mr. McAdoo feel like you are very, very important. It will be such a honor if you accept this invitation. We'll be so glad to have you as a member of the cabinet. You know how I don't want to say hype, simply making the other person feel very important. They'll look at themselves and be like, wow, yeah, that is what we're talking about. But then there is an unfortunate thing. And the thing is that Mr. Wilson Woodrow did not apply this principle throughout all his dealings with people. There was a time he made a big error when he actually wanted when he actually chose people that would represent America and the Republican Party at a league. People were expecting that he would choose prominent Republican leaders like Elihu Root or Charles Evans Huggies or Henry Cabot Lodge to the peace conference with him. Instead, he took along unknown men from his own party. People were not happy with this, and that really led to his downfall. It is recorded here that it wrecked his career, it ruined his health, it shortened his life, and it caused America to stay out of the league and altered the history of the world. You see, that singular error, I wouldn't have known what happened, why it behaved that way, but it was recorded like that it was a crude handling of human relations at this point. For somebody who knew how to handle human beings at some point, and then he made this very big mistake. This is to say that if we don't handle human beings well, it can actually be disastrous. Yes, we'll feel like, oh, is it not him? Let him go. I don't mind. I don't care whose ox is God. I don't. But then it can cause a lot of trouble. Right. It is not only Woodrow Wilson that this speaks to. It can speak to anybody when you're dealing with your children. There is a case here where a man applied it to making his son do the chores that he wanted him to do by picking up hairs from the lawn so that the person cleaning the lawn will not have to bend every time to pick it up and all of that. This boy did not want to do it at first, but his father made him do it to say, okay, for every basket full of pears that you pick, I'm going to give you $1, and every one that I find on the lawn, I'm going to take out $1 from your money, right? The boy wanted the dollars, so he did it. And there's also the story of a man here that I like. He was maybe a public speaker, I don't know, but he used to get so many invitations to speak at events, but he was a very busy person, and so he had to turn down so many invitations, but he would do it in a very diplomatic way that people would not even feel that he's rejecting them. And what would he do? He wouldn't say, oh, I'm busy, oh, I can't come, and all of that. No. After expressing his appreciation for the invitation, he would not say, oh, regrettably, I won't be able to make it. However, I can suggest this person. Why don't you try Mr. Wilson? Why don't you try Madam Shem? Oh, Madam Shem will be a good alternative. Oh, Mr. Ike will be a good fit. Maybe he would even go ahead to say, I can speak to him on your behalf. Oh, I can give you his number. Oh, I can give his email address. Right. So he wouldn't just turn people down. He wouldn't just regret not being able to honor their invites. He would make suggestions for alternative speakers. Yeah, I'm a good fit. Yeah, I know. Right. So Napoleon also applied this technique. He gave people titles. Right. I think we do that a lot in this climb in Nigeria. We just give people titles. Oh, chairman, chief, boss, ogamisa. Those titles actually make people's heads swell. Let me tell you, as easy and as simple as it sounds, it goes a long way. Somebody that feels like, oh, I don't have money enough, or maybe I'm not acceptable, I'm not honorable enough, and then you're calling the person, chairman, hello, my boss, things like that. It can actually soften their hearts. It can make them more receptive towards you, make them more approachable, make them want to listen to you, make them want to do whatever you want to do. Imagine calling some, oh, chief, I honor you, sir, appreciate you, and all of that. And then you follow that with a request. I beg, can you help me with this? Even if the person cannot help you, the person will really feel bad for not being able to help you, because you have honored the person, you have given the person a title, you have put them in like a position of authority. You make them feel important. Right. The same thing applies when we give people responsibility. That's it. Hype them to do your bidding. That's it. So you give people responsibility. There's a woman that applied it here. These young boys would always come running across and destroying our lawn. She had tried to force them. She has used threats. She has used everything, but nothing was working. And then she called the head of the gang, I'm sure the most troublesome boy amongst them, and gave that boy the title. She gave him a title and a feeling of authority. She made him a detective, her detective, and put him in charge of keeping all trespassers off the lawn. And guess what? That alone make this boy feel very important, in a position of authority. And he made sure that he would hit a metal rather, hit it red hot, and threaten the boys that if you come across this lawn, I'm going to press this on you. I'm going to brand you with this. Yeah, he did a fantastic job. So sometimes what you need to help that your child that is troublesome or not listening to you to start doing your bidding is to give this child a responsibility. A shop applied it here. There was a lady who would always make mistakes when it comes to price tags on the shelf. She wouldn't pay attention. They did everything that they could, but it wasn't just working until one of our supervisors, I believe, called her into the office and say, from now on, you are responsible for all the price tags in this shop. Give her a responsibility, and this changed her attitude completely. People want to feel that sense of importance. They want you to recognize them. Yes. Some people that are working in the background and it feels like they are not cooperating with you, give them a responsibility. Make them feel seen. Make them feel heard. Give them some credit. Put them at the forefront of something. Try them with a little responsibility. I know this because it works. It works. I see it work a lot of times. Yeah. I've seen people who would always hide, who would be shy, who feel like they're not responsible. They can't even do anything. And then a little responsibility was given to them, and boom, they don't want to disappoint you. They feel like, oh, you really honor them. You find them to be so important by giving them this. And so they will live up to that reputation. Remember, we learned that in a previous chapter. So the effective leader should keep the following guidelines in mind when it is necessary to change attitudes or behaviors. Number one, be sincere. Don't promise what you cannot deliver. Don't just make empty promises because you want to hype people, you want them to feel good. No, it will backfire, right? Forget about the benefits to yourself and concentrate on the benefits to the other person. We have an example that we're going to review very shortly. Number two, know exactly what it is you want the other person to do. That means you yourself must be clear about what you want, right? Number three, be empathetic. Ask yourself, what is it the other person really wants? So it is not just about you. Put yourself in the other person's shoes as well. Number four, consider the benefits that person will receive from doing what you suggest. Number five, match those benefits to the other person's wants. Number six, when you make your request, put it in a form that will convey to the other person the idea that he personally will benefit. We could give a cut order like this. Okay, so this is the example I was talking about. You want Mr. John to do something. You have the option to go to Mr. John and say, hey, John, we have customers coming in tomorrow, and I need the stock room cleaned out. So sweep it out, put the stock in neat piles on the shelves, and polish the counter. Or you could change your tone, your language, and everything, and say to Mr. John this way. You say, oh, Mr. John, we have a job that should be completed right away. If it is done now, we won't be faced with it later. Now you're telling John why you should do it, because he will still do it anyway. So if you do it now, we won't be faced with it later. It will be less burden on us, right? So John sees that as a benefit. It's true. Why don't I do this thing now? And then I'll be free later. I'll have more time to play with later, right? And then you say to him, I'm bringing some customers tomorrow to show our facilities. I would like to show them the stock room, but it is in poor shape. If you could sweep it out, put the stock in its piles on the shelves, and polish the counter, it would make us look efficient, and you will have done your part to provide a good company image. You see? Now, if Mr. John is keen about providing a good company image, we'll be like, oh yeah, this will be to my credit. The company will be happy. It will be an appraiser to me and things like that, right? Now, which one would get Mr. John to cooperate with you more? Is it the first approach or the second? It is definitely the second. People don't like to be ordered around. They don't like to be bossed around, right? So you just have to be diplomatic, make them feel important, and be sincere about it. Just find the way. I believe that there is always a better way to say what we say. There is always a better way to do what we do. Right. There is always a better way to relate with people. And while we're doing this, let us be intentional about it. It is not just about what you want them to do, it is also about how you want them to feel about what you want them to do. You may be their boss. They may not be able to say no to you, but are they happy doing what you want them to do? It makes a whole lot of difference. Somebody can work for you happily. They'll look forward to coming to the office. They'll look forward to helping you without feeling like, oh, they are being pushed, or they just have to do it because there is a paycheck attached to it and they have to feed themselves and their families, right? But at the end of the day, they're just not happy. If they get another opportunity, they are gone, right? So make people do what you want them to do, but in a very happy way, in a way that they will be glad to do it. And in the long run, you see that it is a win-win for both of you. You don't have to force them. You don't have to coerce them. Just put the right words together, the right attitude, and all of that. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. God bless you all. Wow. You can't believe that we have one more review to go for this book. Oh my God. Is it even a review? We're just going to be talking about Mr. Dale here. A Shortcut to Distinction by Lowell Thomas. Okay. Yeah, we'll take that tomorrow. Thank you very much. God bless you. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady. And on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again tomorrow by God's grace. Yeah, we'll just go over this briefly. Until then, be intentional. Take care. Bye. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.